Normally, when someone calls with a traumatic brain injury case, it isn't the person that's been harmed. It's a mother, it's a close friend, it's an uncle, it's someone who loves this person. And they realize that things aren't right. A traumatic brain injury is a difficult case to evaluate, and it takes the wisdom and the knowledge of experts to show exactly what the injury is, because when you look at the person, they look normal. And so this is the kind of case where you need to put together sophisticated markers that will prove to a jury that this person actually is suffering and not just faking it. Because when you look at a person, and when defense counsel looks at a person and he sits there and looks healthy, the first thing they'll start saying is, well, he's just making this up. And so these are the kinds of cases that are difficult, but it's a matter of how you go about proving the injury that's critically important. Sometimes the family doesn't realize what they're dealing with. And so I try and recommend some of the best professionals in our community who can help treat the situation and explain the situation from a medical point of view. I try and get that kind of help around the family first. Make sure that they've seen some good doctors so that they can feel like they are helping in a situation where it's very difficult. One of the things that you always want to try and avoid in a traumatic brain injury case is settling it too quickly before you've run all of the tests to define exactly what the injury is and how it manifests itself, and then waiting long enough to make sure that it's reached a point of stability and isn't just going to get worse and worse and worse. So you have this delicate balance. You want to settle quickly, but you don't want to settle too quickly before you know exactly what the consequences of the injury is in the life of the person. I think the most important thing when you're looking for a traumatic brain injury lawyer is to make sure you've got someone who's done it enough times, and I mean many times, that they know how to prove it, because it's not something you can see. The cases that are easiest are those where you have paralysis, because the jury can see the paralysis. The cases that are hardest are those that are more subtle but have equally important consequences in a person's life. And that's the traumatic brain injury, because it's hidden inside the mind. And so the attorney has to know how to make that visible, and which experts can help a jury understand the depth of the injury. And that takes a lot of experience. I mean, you have to do this for a while. You have to understand the lingo, know who the doctors are, understand what the potential defenses are going to be. So I think it's critical to have someone that knows what they're doing. Don't ever wait to contact an attorney if you have a traumatic brain injury. Dealing with it quickly and getting the right kind of help is important, because a traumatic brain injury is oftentimes not something you can visualize on a person. And so in order to prove it, you have to connect it to the accident. And you have to be able to say that person had an injury and the doctor looked at it right away, so that you have a paper trail that leads to the accident. It's a sad thing when someone knows they've been injured, they are reticent to find legal help, and they wait 6 or 7 months, and they come in and they haven't seen a doctor. Because those reports the doctors put together early on are really critical.